When Saxdor came out in 2019, I was flabbergasted how they could make a Saxdor 200 with a Mercury outboard that looked pretty funky for about £25,000 retail. Then the 27 came, and then the 32. And today we're going to do a review of the 320 GTO, and this is the first time I've had a used one in. We took it in part exchange against a Sea Ray, and I'm going to tell you what I really think of Saxdor. Okay, so we're on board the Saxdor 32 or 320 GTO, and it's got a few little tricks up its sleeve. I think also, let's just take a second to take it all in. I think actually it's quite a pretty boat, don't you think, Dan?
I do, yeah.
Yeah? And
Dame, what you got on your feet?
my lovely new socks, son. My lovely new Pasha socks.
Pasha?
Yeah, Pasha.
Where
Pasha
did you
socks.
get Pasha socks from?
Ibiza, son.
Ibiza?
My brother's stag do.
Oh.
Right. It's got twin 225 Mercuries. And do you know how I can tell, Dan?
Because they've got 225 written on them?
225. And this will propel this boat along at 50 knots flat out. Now, at the end of this video, I'm going to go through all the costs in detail, including depreciation, finance figures, berthing, the whole lot. But the first thing that greets you is a whacking pair of outboards, and I must say it does look pretty cool. I also must congratulate the owner on this colour scheme, because I think grey and orange goes quite well. So let's jump on board and give you a full tour. Okay, so we're going to start at the back. We've trimmed the engines down so we've got some more room. There's this lovely seat at the back. Now this boat has got so many seating configurations that I'm only going to end up showing you probably half of them. But on this one, I've sussed this one out. This one goes this way and turns this into a sunbed, right? And which I can then demonstrate like this, right? Obviously it's a short sunbed because my legs are off the bottom. But underneath the sunbed is a massive locker with a duvet in it.
Thanks, Nev.
That's where I'm going to sleep later. I know some of them have got a ski pole here, but this one hasn't, just so you know. But it has got some lovely power hydraulic steering. You seen that, Dan? Okay, so we'll put the balcony down as well. Lovely quiet mechanism. I must admit the hinges look pretty heavy. Right, that's quite neat. Okay, so pop up, Dan, and we'll show you the seating configuration. Okay, so in the cockpit, we've set it up in the dining configuration. As you can see a minute ago, we could have that as a sunbed. And then you can now change it around. So Dan, if you come and help me a second. And Nev said to me, you should do this off camera because, you know, sometimes it's a bit fiddly. But if you just lift, we've managed to suss it and we're done. And then you can have the seat pointing towards the barbecue. And also, if you look at the track on the floor, Dan, you can see this seat here actually slides. So if you give it a little pull, I know it's difficult with the camera, give it a little nudge. This seat slides back as well. And then in addition, Dan, there's a storage cupboard underneath the floor. And this table can go down on the telescopic legs. Show them the legs. See the legs? They go down. And then this bit can go over the top of that bit and make an even longer sunbed. So are you confused?
Yes.
Well, so am I. All you need to know, you can do whatever you want with all these seats and it will probably do it. So let's move on to the barbecue. Okay, so this is the barbecue. I must say it looks really funky and I do like the glass top, but I wonder how long the glass top might last, Dan. Because if you've got a few people having a few bevies on here, I guarantee someone is going to end up breaking that. Anyway, our one is not broken. You've got a lovely sink and a lovely barbecue, and you've got these cup holders which apparently all light up. And there's a little chopping board there which has got a little bit of water in it because we've just washed the boat. It's quite a neat unit, and you've got some extra drawers down here. I haven't got a fridge on this one, but apparently you can have a fridge one end, and you can, oh, it's this end. You can have a fridge this end. There it is, there's a fridge. As you know, I'm not keen on ice makers, so don't bother with the ice maker. The other thing I would say I like here, the headlining is quite nice. There's lots of overhead lighting, and that's quite cool, isn't it, Dan? It's kind of laser cut out of the metal, and apparently that lights up. So this is the port side balcony. You have to press this button to release it, and then you press the buttons which are on the starboard side with the holding the padlock down. Is that right? Anyway, you press the button down and the balcony folds down. We'll try that again later. So before we do the helm, Saxdor was started by Sakari Mattila, who was also the person who started Axopar. He also did Aquador. I think he did XO. And what's that one beginning with P? Another one. Is it Paragon? There's another brand beginning with P. Anyway, he's a very clever man because he's come out with all these boat designs, and I must admit they're very, very clever in so far as he's able to build the boats at a very attractive price. Right, so enough about that. The boats are built in Poland and designed in Helsinki, Finland. And did you know that, Dan?
No.
And I'll tell you something else you didn't know, son.
Go on.
The Saxdor factory is wholly owned by Saxdor. It's not a contractor, which is not the same for all brands, but we'll leave it there. So we've got this glass cockpit. We've got stowage here. Very easy to see instrumentation. My view from here is pretty good. Have a look from my shoulder height down through the windscreen. It needs to clean the windscreen. And I've got a seat bolster here, so I can see through the gap, through that gap there, Dan, which works quite nicely. Obviously, the Mercury controls are beautiful. Bow thrusters, all pretty standard stuff, and auto trim. That's your engine gauge. These are your GPS plotters. I haven't got any complaints here. And also, I like the fact the dashboard is dark, which means it won't reflect. Okay, so this is the cabin, and actually it feels really light. Now you can tell this boat is designed by the Axopar designer because it's got the same paper blinds. Actually, these have got fabric. These are actually one level up, Dan. So you can see the walkways there. So you've got a double berth up here, which I think you have to sleep this way around. I think you have to go like this, Dan, because you put your feet down there, and then that's it, like that. And that's, yeah, it's not bad. I don't feel too claustrophobic. You've got, I think we've got a USB point down here. Have a look. Yeah, we've got USB for charging my phone. A plug socket that looks European. So if you come in, Dan, I'm going to show you the toilet. Now the toilet is actually quite nice.
It's a bit open.
What are
It's
you?
like a studio.
Are you saying you wouldn't want to see me?
Well, if I was here,
Yeah.
the last thing I'd want to see is you there.
Is my Chevy on here? Ah. I pull this lever here, and now I'm in the toilet.
That's such a better view.
Can you hear anything? And the woodwork quality is what you'd expect for a boat at this price point of 199,950. It's not bad, but this is no Fairline, Dan. The sink is quite nice. Little cupboards. There you go, look. Doesn't quite fit. Little things like that. It doesn't, you know, it's not a big deal, but you just got to know it's not the highest quality in the world. It's very good, but it's not the highest quality in the world. I don't know what's in here. Let's have a look. Oh, that's the wiring. I'll leave that there. So all quite nice. Have we got a shower? Oh, we've got a table here. How does that work? Oh, you can put that over the toilet seat to use it as a table, look. Yeah, I'm not sure why you'd want to do that, but that's handy. And you've got a storage here. You've got the trip switches there. This boat's got the Webasto heating. It's got the Fusion music. So I would say this is an overnighter. It's quite a nice overnighter. Now, I hear you ask, does it pass the floss test? Well, I'm 6'1", so as you can tell, I can't even stand up. And it would pass the floss test if I used the rest of the cabin. But it's not that kind of boat, so no, it doesn't pass the floss test.
Can we get out now?
Yeah, let's get out. This room is quite nice, by the way, Dan. It's only 32 foot. It's nice. Okay, so this is the bow. I haven't uncovered the bow. One, because I'm lazy, and two, because it's raining today. So I don't want to keep on covering it up. But you've got some seats here. But what I must say is I feel very safe because there's a very high freeboard. Freeboard is the kind of distance from the water, so it feels very safe. And at the front here, the bow, sorry, you've got a little anchor mechanism, which all looks quite nicely made, to be fair, Dan. Looks very nice. Little pinch spring. The cleats are quite nicely done. Lots of handrails, and if we kind of turn the camera around, we can see how the radar and the roof looks, which is all pretty funky. What I would say is, I don't know why it hasn't got a sunroof. You'd think it has a sunroof, wouldn't you?
Maybe it's an option.
Maybe it's an option. And in the UK, what do you need a sunroof for when it's like this? This is how it is. It's July 2023. It's raining and not very pleasant. So let's go through all the costs. Right, so here are the costs. Section 1 is buying the boat. So this boat is up for £199,950 and it's UK VAT paid. Deposit, banks are going to want to see 30%, which is about £59,950. That means the finance advance is going to be about £140,000. And the payment per month with the increase in interest rates is about £1,600 per month. And that's based on a 15-year straight line repayment. No balloons, no PCPs, just a straight line repayment at about 9.9% APR, which is about right at the moment for this amount of money if you want to borrow it. So the finance per annum, Dan, is £19,200.
What's that?
I've got a little footrest here, look.
Oh, you got to pull it. No, pull it out. Pull the leg out in the middle. It's catching otherwise, isn't it?
Oh yeah. Look,
Go on then.
I've cleaned it. Look.
Oh, don't show that.
Crikey, look at
Why
that.
would you? Why would you want to put that there?
Well, maybe if you're smaller.
Or if you had a hard roof, a soft roof.
Yeah. It's got little brackets. Nice. Right, let's do section 2, which is the fuel. Ooh. So let's just assume 20 knots. Now this boat will do 50 knots, but let's assume 20 knots. The fuel burn is about 40 litres per hour per engine, so 80 litres per hour. The fuel price in July 23 is about £1.75 in marinas. And I know I get lots of comments, people going, oh, I can get cheaper at Co-op or Asda's. Yeah, well, I don't see many Asda's on the river in the UK. It's £1.75 at most marinas, which means the cost is £140 per hour of fuel. But remember, you have done 20 nautical miles in that time. Average use is 50 hours. Now, can I just say something on this, Dan? I get lots of people commenting, going, oh, that's not much. Oh, I use my boat more than that. 50 engine hours. Now, when I go out boating, I don't know about you, but I don't need the engines running all day. I go out for an hour to the bay, I put the anchor out, I sit there for 6-7 hours, and I come back for an hour. So I've done 2 engine hours, but I've been out for 10. So remember, that's engine hours. And the adjusted costs used in the Aquaholic version of fuel economy, which is you don't go flat at 20 knots everywhere, which is absolutely true, is about £6,300 per annum.
James, I'm recording.
I don't know where to ask.
Yeah, I know, but I'm recording. Come on, sit down.
Rain everywhere. It pisses
Come on.
me off. Right. We're now going to go on to fixed costs, which is section 3. What's wrong with my voice today? I keep on slurring, and I'm sober.
It's because you're nearly going on holiday.
Oh, I'm going on this soon, aren't I? Right, my berth costs are £6,700 per annum, and that's using a UK dry stack. And I got these costs from my friend Johnny Boys at Trafalgar Wharf in Portsmouth. Do you remember Johnny Boys, Dan?
Yes, I do.
So £6,700 per annum. Servicing is a very reasonable £1,000 for the twin Mercuries. Maintenance, polishing, other bits and pieces, about another £1,000. Insurance is a very reasonable £1,400. No one really crashes these, no one really steals these, and not many boats sink. Therefore, your total fixed costs are about £10,100 per annum. Okay, so section 4 is variable costs. So the first one is always the most difficult one because it's difficult to work out how much things lose, because some things don't lose. This ladder's nice, isn't it? Nice ladder. Depreciation, I'm going to put it at £10,000 per annum at this age. This is a 2022. Fuel, well, we've worked that out, is £6,300 per annum if you do 20 knots with the 50 hours use. Finance, well, we've worked that out, including repaying the capital, is 19.2. So you've got total variable costs of about 35,500. But remember, don't just add these all up, because some of them don't apply to everybody. You know, if you're paying cash, then you haven't got any finance costs. If you don't do 50 hours, then it's less. If you keep it at home, it doesn't cost you anything to berth it. So they're just costs that some people might have, or some people might have all of them. Okay, the last section is section 5, JB's measure of pleasure. So accommodation, well, it's 2-berth weekender with a toilet. It's quite nice. I think it's 7 out of 10. But it's got the huge deck area, and that's why I gave it 7 out of 10. I love the balconies. I think they look really cool. Style, well, we'll show you some outside pictures now, and we'll show you some running shots. This boat is very, very pretty. I think the styling is fantastic, so I'm going to give it 10 out of 10 for style. Fun, well, with twin 225 Mercuries, you're going to have a lot of fun. This boat will accelerate like a rocket ship. It'll pull all your water sports toys, all your friends. So it's 8 out of 10 from me for fun. Running costs, well, these two babies do use quite a bit of fuel, as I've explained. So your berthing costs and stuff are less, but your engines are going to use a fair bit of juice. So I'm going to give it 6 out of 10 for running costs. Quality, the quality is very good, and you must remember this is a £200,000 brand new 32-foot boat with these lovely engines. I think the styling's good, so I think they've done amazing things for the price, but it is not a hand-built British boat or Italian boat for that matter. So the quality is fine for the price. I'm going to give it 8 out of 10. So that gives us a score of 39 out of 50, which is 78%, not bad. So in summary, if you're looking for a great weekender that's under 200 grand, has got loads of power, looks pretty damn cool, then I don't think you can beat the Saxdor 320 GTO. It's a lot of bang for your buck, and there's a lot to be said for that. Don't know what you do there. I think you press that one. Right, down. No. Look, I'm an expert on this boat. I know exactly.
You said.
Yeah.
I've watched the videos.
Yeah.
And I'm an expert.
Yeah.
Do a video.
And I spoke to Nev.
And you spoke to Nev.
And Nev told me everything you need to do.
Right.
So you unlock.
Tell me what you've got there.
You unlock the balcony.
Unlocked it, right.
Yeah.
What's next?
And then you press the down button.
Right. What's that one with an unlock?
Yeah. Oh, you have to hold that down. Oh yeah. Yeah. That's how it works. That's how it works, son, isn't it?